When a snake plant suddenly blooms, what does it usually mean? Does it bring good fortune or quietly invite bad luck into the home? Because it is so rare. Every time it happens, it brings all sorts of explanations, leaving some delighted and others worried. So what is the real truth behind that little flower? In home decorating, the snake plant is a special one. Its leaves grow straight up, creating a strong sense of rising, which is why the plant is often tied to protection, to holding steady, and to overcoming obstacles in life. So when a plant with that firm, upright form suddenly puts out a flower, people pay closer attention because it is a change we seldom get to see. From there, different views come up. Some see it as a happy sign that brings luck to the family, while others feel uneasy because our grandparents used to say that when a plant blooms after many years, something unwelcome may be on its way into the house. And these conflicting beliefs leave many people unsure whether to cut the flower off to avoid trouble or keep it out of fear of throwing away a sign of good fortune. To help you sort out these worries, I invite you to stay with me through today's video so we can learn what makes a snake plant suddenly bloom. Because it is that very cause that will tell you whether to keep the flower or trim it away once it shows up in your home. Now, let us begin. Number 1. Is it rare for a snake plant to bloom? Many of you have grown a snake plant for years, watching it push out new leaves and shoots, yet never once seeing it flower. So when a small flower stalk suddenly rises between the leaves, that rare event often makes people feel the family's fortune is shifting. By fortune, I mean the smooth stretches or rough patches you run into with work, money, and everyday life. Snake plant flowers are not easy to come across, especially on pots kept indoors. Some of you have cared for the plant for years and still never seen a bloom, while other pots surprise their owners by flowering when nobody expected it. Because it appears so rarely, that flower draws far more attention than familiar changes like sprouting leaves or growing baby shoots. On top of that, a houseplant cared for over a long time that then blooms is usually seen as a picture of growth reaching a special stage. So the flower is noticed not only for its beauty or scent. People also believe a rare change on the plant may come hand in hand with changes in the family's own life. So is that change good or bad? In most of the feng shui writings I have looked into, a blooming snake plant is seen as a lucky sign, not a warning of trouble the way the rumors claim. Even so, it does not mean money will jump up the instant the plant flowers, or that every hardship will melt away on its own. The meaning lies in this. The patience and care you have poured into the plant all this time are finally starting to turn in a favorable direction. From there, people believe a snake plant flower can point to 4 good things for the family. Each one touches a separate part of life, and once you understand these 4 sides clearly, you will no longer rush to cut the flower off over hearsay with no real basis. So what are those 4 things? Let us find out. Number 2. What good fortune does a blooming snake plant bring? The snake plant flower, as I mentioned earlier, is seen as a good sign, one that points to positive shifts in your life. The first is that your work has a chance to move forward more smoothly. A snake plant usually goes through a long stretch of time before it can bloom, so the rising flower is seen as an image of your long efforts slowly beginning to show results. If you are pursuing a plan, waiting on news at work, or opening a new direction in business, the flower is often taken as a sign that things may start to flow more easily. The difficulties that once made you hesitate may gradually be untangled, and a plan whose path you could not quite see may find the right opening to move ahead. The flower does not decide success for you, but it encourages you to hold your direction steady and seize the right moment when it appears. The second good thing has to do with wealth. A green, thriving plant that then blooms calls to mind growth, abundance, and the reward that comes after a season of care. So the flower is seen as a sign that your money and business may slowly settle into steadier ground. That change may come from a rise in your income, a partnership that goes smoothly, or a business that begins drawing in more customers. And whatever you earn, you may be able to hold on to for the long run, steering clear of spending on things that are not worthwhile. The third good thing is more harmony within the family. Snake plant leaves are firm and sharp, carrying a strong yang energy, while the flowers are small, soft, and give off a gentle fragrance, which belongs to the yin side. A plant that holds both sides is seen as reaching a balance of yin and yang, and in feng shui, when the energy is balanced, that is when a home finds peace. If your family has known some disagreements, the flower is seen as a signal that everyone under your roof may slowly find their way back to common ground. Good news may also come. A chance to gather together, or a worry that has weighed on the family for a long time may finally be settled in a comforting way. The last good thing is that the living energy in your home is being kept alive. By living energy, I mean the vitality and freshness present in a space. When a snake plant grows green and healthy and then blooms, it is usually seen as a picture of a home that is cared for, warmed by your presence, with a living energy that is growing. Beyond that, the flower is also tied to a wish for health and peace. But please remember, it cannot cure illness. What the meaning of health points to is this. A plant healthy enough to bloom shows that the spot where it stands has enough sunlight, fresh air, and good airflow. And when a home is that open and airy, you and your loved ones inside it will tend to be healthier too. To keep your snake plant green, healthy, and one day ready to bloom, keep a few things in mind, such as how you water it, how much light it gets, the soil, and where you place the pot. The snake plant carries the traits of the wood element because it is always growing and rising straight upward. Its wood energy is only favorable when the leaves stay green, the stalks stand firm, and the pot is kept clean. If the plant has turned yellow, fallen over, or is left with many dry leaves around its base, you should tend to it soon, because a plant that has lost its vitality no longer stands for the growth of your family. As for watering, keep it moderate. Water nourishes wood. But when you pour too much and too often, it pools and sits. Water is meant to keep moving, and when it stays stagnant over time, it is often said to hold back the flow of prosperity, making work harder to move along and causing money in the home to slip away in small losses. So after you water the plant, pour out the leftover water in the saucer and wipe down the area around it. When the pot stays dry and clean, the energy around the plant flows more freely, and the meaning of growth, wealth, and vitality it stands for is kept whole. Along with watering, light helps your snake plant stay green and keep its leaves standing tall. The plant carries yang traits, so it suits places with natural light and regular activity, such as the living room, a shop, or your workspace. When the plant is placed in a bright spot, it keeps its fresh leaf color and its upright form, which stands for the upward growth of your household. On the other hand, if you leave the plant too long in a dark corner, the leaves often grow soft, fade in color, and then lean over to one side. When that happens, the rising image, the snake plant, is known for slowly fades away, so its meaning of progress in work and in life can no longer come through. For the plant to keep that steadiness, the base needs a solid foundation. The soil and the pot stand for the support that helps the plant stand straight and grow steadily. So choose a pot that is fully intact and avoid a cracked or broken one that lets soil spill out or pushes the plant crooked. A pot with a firm base and neat, upright leaves calls to mind a stable foundation in your work, money built up to last, and a family that holds on to steady living. When both the top and the base are cared for, the meaning of growth and steadiness the snake plant carries is kept alive far longer. Where you place the plant should also match what you are hoping for. If you want to reach toward the health and harmony of your family, set the plant in the eastern area of your living room or home. The east is often tied to the wood element, to family, and to health. So a green, thriving snake plant there stands for a life force that keeps being nourished. If you want to send your hopes toward wealth and growth in business, the southeastern area is usually the fitting choice. This is the direction often tied to prosperity in the way the bagua is applied. Choose a pot sized in proportion to the room, keep the leaves clean, and avoid letting old bills, broken items, or household trash pile up around it, so the plant can take in fresh energy more freely. And in your workspace, the rising leaves of the snake plant are often tied to focus, progress, and decisiveness. You can set a small pot beside your desk or in a corner, but avoid letting the plant block your screen, cut off your line of sight, or take up the open space in front of you. The space in front of your desk should stay clear to stand for a career path that still has room to open up ahead. You should also avoid placing too many snake plants in one small room. The plant has tall, firm, sharp leaves, so in too large a number the wood energy grows too strong and loses the balance of the energy moving through the space. 1 or 2 pots in the right spot, kept green and healthy, usually suit a home better than crowding plants all over the room. Once the plant has bloomed, keep the flower stalk whole without hanging red string, coins, or ornaments on it. The stalk already carries the meaning of growth bearing fruit, So all you need to do is keep the pot clean, the plant standing firm, and the surrounding area tidy. After the flower fades, trim off the dried stalk rather than leaving it on the plant. The parts that have withered and dried no longer stand for new life, so clearing them away at the right time helps the pot keep its fresh, tidy look. When the plant is healthy and placed in the right spot, its meanings of growth, protection, and good fortune are kept more fully intact. So a blooming snake plant is a lucky sign, not the bad omen that so many word-of-mouth stories make it out to be. It is only that all these good meanings spring from the very effort you yourself have put into caring for the plant all this time. And for those of you who have grown yours for a long while and still have never seen it flower, please do not feel down. As long as the plant stays green and its leaves keep rising straight, it is still doing its job of holding the living energy of the home. Thank you for spending your time watching all the way to the end of this video. If your snake plant has ever bloomed, or if there is anything about this plant you are still unsure about, please share your thoughts down in the comments. I wish your family strong health, a home full of living energy, plenty of prosperity, and smooth sailing in all that you do. See you again in the next video.